house is pissed off at Taylor. It's just gonna start turning shit off and on. It's not haunted. No, the house is just pissed off.
No, but I will say, out of all of the like smart devices, I don't know if any of you guys have Home Pods or Minis or whatever else they've put out, but it talks all the time. Does anybody else have their, like, it just starts talking to them? Their Home Pod will just be like, Siri will pop up and just start talking some
I've
shit?
only experienced it a few times, and it's been when it started playing music. Like, I had one upstairs, and my bedroom is on the first floor, and I was hearing, like, through the wall, and I'm thinking, what the fuck are they doing out there in the street at 6 o'clock in the morning? And I went back to sleep, and then I woke up again to it. I'm like, I think that's Dua Lipa, actually. Like, I walk down the living room, and I hear it, like, at full volume upstairs 3 days in a row. I don't know how it happened.
This is what I'm talking about.
I have
Unacceptable. Alexa would never do that to me.
bullshit.
She
Alexa
wouldn't.
talks all the fucking time.
Not
She's
mine.
always
She knows what's
sorry.
up.
Can't do that.
Remember when there was like a thing where Alexas were laughing in the middle of the night?
No, somebody wrote that code.
I love that.
Somebody did that.
That's hilarious. Speaking of which, we were what were we watching last night? Oh, we were watching the new Westworld. And
So you started it. Is it any good?
yeah, I started it. It's good. Yeah. I mean, I'm a Westworld
Obviously
person. We'll
started
get
if
into
you're
it.
watching it.
We'll get into it. But this isn't the best part of the whole experience. It had nothing to do with the show. So we're watching it downstairs. Emily like had a terrible night sleeping the night before, so she was really exhausted and like could barely make it through. And she like went upstairs to get something and comes back down, and I'm sitting there just like, it's like I don't know, it's like 11 o'clock or 10:30 at night. And she's like, I am so tired. She's like, I'm delirious. I keep seeing somebody in the house. And I was like, wait a minute.
Oh, no. You don't just passively say that. No, we got to find this fucker.
That's what I said. I was like, did you not stop him?
No.
She goes, no, I'm just really tired. And I said, don't say that. Even if it's true, don't tell somebody. That's like the worst. And then she sits down all nonchalant. Like, that's not a really terrible thing to say. She's like, I just keep seeing people. And I was like, don't. Who says that?
People. So it's not like, okay, all right.
I checked in with her later
to make sure she was okay.
I was like, are you sure you weren't really seeing people? And then I followed up again this morning, and I was like, hey, you can't say that. You can't say you're seeing people in the house, A. And then B, like, if you're not stopping them, don't just come down and tell me.
Because
and then sit down on the couch next to me.
As if, right.
You're adding dynamics now. Because, like, I don't know if I need to protect us or commit you. Because
yeah,
you could be seeing people that are not there. Or there is someone upstairs, and I need to go and get my Jackie Chan on and shit.
yeah. I mean, that's probably not going to happen in either situation.
Or call the police. But I would much rather do Jackie Chan.
Yeah, it just makes you wonder, you know?
Is she okay?
Yeah, I guess so. I guess she's fine.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Josh, you didn't tell me to take my
I don't know. She's seeing people in the house, apparently.
Are they still here?
I don't know. Hopefully not. I've been home all day, and I've not seen anybody other than just myself. So anyway, yeah.
I do love stories like that. People have, like, squatters in their home and didn't fucking know and shit.
That's terrifying.
I know.
It's terrible.
They just live like in the attic, and then they find them there, and then they call the police. And the police
wasn't there a story about like in some Japanese guy's apartment, the
like,
guy was
lived
in
in
there
the
for
cabinet?
years, and he
Yes.
was just like coming down while he was at work to take food
There's
and whatever.
a movie about this.
It's fucking crazy.
Yeah, there's a movie about this. I know, and Parasite is an example, but I think there's another movie where there is a guy or somebody living in the attic.
You know, I still have not seen Parasite.
Parasite.
And it's like my number one watch list thing. Still haven't done it.
Well, it's pretty old at this point.
But
You
it
should
won.
probably get to
I
it.
try to watch every
It's very
best
good.
picture.
It's very good.
What won last year? Did I watch it?
Well done. I don't know what won last year. Oh, no, I do know. Coda.
That's right.
Coda won last year.
I didn't know.
And I did not watch
I'm not
that.
watching it.
I did not check that out. All right. I'm going to talk quickly about this. So the Dead Rabbit, I did not do any research on this really. I bought this not that long ago. So I'm going to go with some of the basics that I got. I'm just going off the bottle here. So aged for 5 long years. It's probably true. It definitely has been a
5
couple of
years.
long years.
It was in the warehouse for 2 because of COVID.
Yeah, that's right. So I took there's some notes when I was at the liquor store. They had a couple of notes on this. So it is from Ireland. It's an Irish whiskey. It says so right on the bottle here. So that kind of gives it away. But toasty, sweet aromas of brown sugar, cedar. It's a weirdly written sentence. The palate has caramel and vanilla up front with notes of nutmeg and milky coffee. The finish lingers with waxy fruit and black pepper.
We had white pepper last week.
Yeah, so there's
Now
a
we got
lot of
black
things going
Equal
on.
opportunity.
A lot of things going on.
Affirmative action pepper company over here.
So
National.
I had another interesting fun fact about it. It's actually on the bottle too, but it's kind of hard to read. But this is essentially a collaboration between a guy named Sean Muldoon and Jack McGarry.
Those guys sound
These
so
two
shady.
guys got together and they made it. They have a distillery kind of situation, I guess, going on over there in Ireland. They both have their own kind of operation, and I think
straight
they
from
got
Ireland,
together and dreamed this up. So I'll go ahead and I'll crack into it. I'll open it up. This is, like I said, 5 long years as opposed to the last episode, which
Since
was
we don't know too much about it, I was looking through reviews. I'm gonna read
3 short years.
I'm gonna read 3 reviews. You
Yeah,
guys
let's do
ready?
some reviews.
Comfortable. That's it. Comfortable.
It's not a bad review. I like being comfortable.
Broken from Martine. Broken.
Oh, God.
And I have to admit, I'm not a huge whiskey fan. But when a friend served me up one of these, I was so surprised. I loved it. She served it to me with loads of ice, a squeeze of lime, and topped off with a ginger beer. Just delicious. Hence the need to buy some more. Would highly recommend. 5 stars. That's from Sarah. Okay, so let's see.
Over to you, my man.
Oh, did you taste it yet?
No, I've not. I'm going to wait for everybody to get their glass.
So let me ask you a question. So
Yeah, fire away.
what do you consider an Irish whiskey staple? Like, I know Jameson. I know...
Yeah, that's probably the most consistent one that I drink. It's, pricing wise, availability wise, familiarity.
Yeah.
I don't know. Jameson's a pretty...
Jameson is just Jameson, right?
Yeah. I mean, when I was younger, it was definitely Jameson was a staple probably in my,
Life.
life. I switched over to probably Bullet for a while. I was very into that. Still
Same.
Still do a lot of old fashions with Bullet.
You put me on a bullet. You've educated me highly on this.
So
I bring the bad guy stuff,
That's
and you
a-
really bring the knowledge of the bourbon.
yeah, Bullet does a pretty good job. I mean, that's a pretty straightforward situation whether you want the bourbon or the rye. And again, it's about availability. So I always like Jameson is probably widely the most available thing, and then I would say Bullet products are very close behind that. And so
Yeah.
that's what I got for that. But-
All right, we ready?
All right, there we go. The Dead Rabbit Irish whiskey, a measure of attitude is what it says. All right, so
But why the
It's got a
dead
dead
rabbit,
rabbit.
though? Like,
Oh,
what is
well.
the significance of the rabbit?
I don't know, but I'll
Is
put
that
it
like
right
an
there in
Irish
the front.
thing?
Could be. We could look that up. Josh could Google search
I'm
what
already on it.
just dead rabbit safe
Yep,
safe
just Google
search.
image
all,
search.
Dead rabbit Irish.
All right, I'm gonna take a little
let's go.
little nip here.
Salud, everybody.
And before I review, I'm gonna let it linger for a moment. But I did finally watch Doctor Strange.
Okay.
I hit
You text me, yeah.
with a bunch of truths that night.
Yeah.
I had a lot of feelings about it.
Tell the people.
I don't want to misquote myself because I felt like I did a really good job of surmising everything that
You want me
night.
to read your text?
Yeah, I was going to pull it up.
All right.
I got it right here. We're good. Okay, so American Chavez, is that right?
America Chavez. Yeah.
America Chavez, okay. I thought her introduction was kind of strange because she just kind of appeared and was a character that was just moving through the story. I thought her setup was just strange. I didn't really care for it all that much. Even by the end, I kind of was like, I don't know who this person is, where they came from, what their role is. We're gonna see him again.
Yeah.
I don't know. So that was my initial hot take for that. Wanda went way too hard, way too fast. Would be probably my biggest takeaway. It felt very strange to see her going from WandaVision to just all of a sudden massacring people on such a grand scale without any hesitation. I could see her like building to it. Maybe I get the story arc of like her kids and that whole thing and wanting to piece all that together. But she really just started wasting people away in the face of fellow Avengers and friends. So it seems if anybody was going to be able to kind of like talk her off a ledge, it'd be some of those people. And I know she has a storied past, so I'm not going to, fault her 100%. But I just
what is Fury like a woman scorn?
I don't remember her, okay. And I have not watched the finale of WandaVision since probably it was on. So forgive me, but I don't remember her leaving WandaVision in a rage. I thought she left like frustrated and sad, but I didn't recall her
left sad,
storming out.
And I think the plot device was that she was corrupted by the Darkhold, which causes you to just be a fucking lunatic.
But did we experience that to a grand extent?
There were a lot of new things that they just kind of threw in
dropped
here, and we were just supposed to just run with it.
Yeah, so
there was really no context for like America just shows up.
Yeah,
we're supposed to know what the Darkhold is.
Yeah, there was a context issue.
It was just a lot of just if you don't know, you don't know. So,
which I feel like with Doctor Strange, it's so. I mean, obviously, there's a lot of characters that are very. Like there's a lot of fantasy involved, if you will. Like it's very wild.
It's based in magic.
Yes, correct. So you kind of have to go with it. There were many moments where Emily was like, "What is happening?" And I was like, "I don't know. This is magic." So just go with it.
Yeah, it took Chanel 2 days to get through it. She waited until Disney Plus, and like, I've talked about how my wife watches TV. Like it takes her like 4 days to watch a movie, and it's always on until it's finished.
Yeah.
So I got to watch Doctor Strange again too. So yeah.
I did not see it when it came out in theaters. I had to catch it on Disney Plus. I waited it out.
Good.
Yep.
You should. You pay for the service.
Paused it, talked about it, was disappointed. Story wasn't great. That was my next bullet. The reveals were not that amazing. I thought all the character reveals were not stellar. It was all kind of expected, but I never got anything that was like fun.
It was fan service. That's all it was.
But in kind of a disappointing way, though.
Yeah,
like I know they all die. Yeah, they all die.
Just killed them,
which is a bummer. And then again, like I felt like they were just, and maybe that's why they didn't do anything that was like super fun. Like I wanted to see Iron Man, or I wanted to see other characters,
other versions of these. Pop
up.
They played it. They gave the fan service and played it really, really safe to the chest.
Yeah. On that note. Mm-hmm. Her slaughtering a lot of people, she was like at times like just the best at it, and you could not get away from her. And then there were other times where you could just outrun her, which all those things felt very strange to me.
When they're like just running from her?
Yeah, like when she met like the one Avengers team or the Illuminati or whatever they were calling it, that was very strange. But when she like ran into them, it was like she was just like snapping her fingers and they were all just exploding. And then she's like chasing everybody else in the movie, and they can all just like outrun her. And anyway, so didn't like that. Scarlet Witch enslaving the multiverse seems like a big leap to me, and that was like the ongoing threat of like, oh, if she does this, she's gonna enslave us all in every multiverse. Which, like, if that's true, then Avengers level threat. Doctor Strange is out of his depth.
So in this particular nuance of the story is pulled from maybe her biggest arc in the comic books, which is called House of M, where she has a mental breakdown and creates this alternate reality. Okay. And she believes she has these children. No one can really like snap her out of it. She's displaced people. The world isn't as we know it, and it's because she's had this mental breakdown.
Got you. Okay.
And the Illuminati, Professor X, Doctor Strange, her father at the time, which has been retconned, Magneto. Everyone's involved in this story, and the only person that knows something is wrong is Wolverine, because it's apparently his brain. Part of his power is his healing factor, and when things happen to his brain has a the brain doesn't heal, but his does.
Yeah,
it has this reactive. I need to reset myself back to the norm, what was normal. And so anytime there's a story, he's used a story of like time displacement or alternate reality displacement, and no one knows what's going on. He'll usually be a factor in there because his brain will always kind of know what's normal and what's not.
So we were missing a lot of characters, I guess, from that scenario.
But the basis of it is her having this breakdown and just going crazy. But in that, she's not like murdering people. She's just, she did murder one person, 2 people, 3. She murdered Hawkeye.
Wow.
Yeah, she
really just, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, at least there's like, I guess,
but
there's some canon to support her. To an extent.
I always say keep the movies in it's source material.
Yeah.
So you still got to keep it separate, but it's source material.
All
But
right,
your points are very valid. I said it was a okay movie with really good moments.
So the part, and this is the last, we've spent a lot of time on it. This is the last thing I'm going to say about it. It's a love and hate kind of thing. I loved the moment where they blew through all the different multiverses and we saw all these like really
very visually
exotic iterations of universes.
Yeah.
I loved that. Way too short of a sequence, only happened the one time. And that segues into my other big problem with this, and that is that they really spent, for a movie all about multiverses,
We didn't spend a lot of
they
time.
really were in 2 or 3 multiverses that were all very basic and super normal. Like one was kind of like a futuristic city, and then the other one was just kind of like a sad city. But really all basically
Because you went with me, right? Yeah.
just very standard. Nothing was like, oh, this is radically different and very
That's what
interesting.
when I saw that montage in the trailer, I was like, oh, we're going to spend so much time. We're going to see so many different people.
Yes.
And then it happens, and we see a lot of people, but we spend, 30 minutes in what they called Earth 838, whatever, where the Illuminati is, and a 3-second splash through like 7 different other universes. We get very sad Doctor Strange, and then
They blew the budget on that one sequence,
so
essentially.
I'm not going to rip it apart, but
Yeah.
it's not something I was overly.
Yeah, it was mediocre, I would say, at best. Okay, so full circle, back to the Dead Rabbit. Josh, any updates on the Dead Rabbit? Are we still researching?
No, we got it.
love that. Let's go.
It was a gang in New York City during the 1800s, the Dead Rabbits. They were, excuse me, oh my gosh. They got their name because of their battle symbol being a dead rabbit on a pike. Allegedly, during a gang meeting early on, someone threw a dead rabbit in the middle, and some members saw it as a bad omen and broke off and formed their own gang, the Dead Rabbits.
Oh,
You think they're in gangs in New York?
wow.
I don't know, maybe.
Interesting.
Because now I'm like,
And now it's an Irish whiskey.
It's
now it's a
also
whiskey,
it's also a nod to the bar of the same name in Lower Manhattan, the Dead Rabbit.
I've never been
Interesting.
there.
All right, very good. Yeah, I've never been there.
If
Haven't
you've
heard
been
of it.
to
All
the
right.
Dead Rabbit in New York, hit me up.
We're
Let me know how it is.
all learning something
How about that?
today. $301 million is going to bring Johnny Depp back to the Pirates franchise, or so they say. That's what the rumor is on the street. And I find that wildly amusing. I love the fact that...
You think the $1 million is like hush money for him?
No, because I think that he was quoted as saying they could offer me, like, I wouldn't even take $300 million to come back.
Oh, come on.
So I think the
301
301 gets him out of
his
predicament that he put himself in. I believe that is the legend, if you will, that he. Yeah. So anyway, that's where the 301 comes from.
I saw that that headline, And the one I saw was from the New York Post, and they didn't really put any like context in it. They were just like, yeah, this somebody report. So did you see it like multiple places after that?
I've seen it a few places. Yeah, a
Okay,
lot of
all
places have
yeah.
reported on it. I don't know what the singular source is. I think it is just somebody who's close or like within the Disney circle. And I read that they actually reached out to him prior to the settlement of the Amber Heard case
To say we're sorry.
to try to patch things up, which would coincide, I think, with Jerry Bruckheimer's statements about the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise, and that they were working on a couple of different scripts and they hadn't ruled out Johnny Depp, but he wasn't officially attached to anything.
And then you said you mentioned a couple weeks back there was a script for Margot Robbie.
Correct. Yes. So that has been for a few years now. They have said that they were basically going to kind of transition into the next, chapter of Pirates of the Caribbean, and she was going to replace Jack Sparrow. Like she was going to become Jack Sparrow in some way or sense. And I could very much see the two of them like being in on the same movie together and doing that. Like
she's old enough to be his daughter,
the same
right?
script. Yeah, I think
could do
so.
something
Sure.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Something like that. Something like a sister.
Yes.
Or, the multiverse is popular right now in franchises. Alternate realities is
Could happen.
popular.
Yep.
So
there was that. Another piece from the article was that there's two films that are in
production.
Not in production, but that the $301 million was basically
Given
tagged
somewhere
with two
project.
projects. And there was speculation that one would be a movie and then one would be a show on Disney Plus, or there would be, something like that, which makes total sense. That all seems right to me. I think the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise is amazing, and I would love to see it as a show and as movies. So I could see it doing both.
Yeah.
I could see Johnny Depp setting things up in the films, and then obviously there being, sides.
He's so good.
Side stories.
He's so fucking good in it.
Yeah, on Disney Plus. Yeah, he's great. He's very, very good. So, that's the Johnny Depp update for Pirates of the Caribbean, and Amber Heard is shopping at TJ Maxx. So there we go. She was recently caught there.
She's on what is that, Ricerstown Road at the TGI Fridays, going to the TJ Maxx.
Hey man, do what you gotta do. All right. Let's take a look at somebody else potentially coming back to a role real quick, which is Christian Bale. This was a very interesting comment that he made.
I saw that, man, and
about reprising his role as the Batman.
He said he would only do it if Christopher Nolan comes back. He said they made that pact that if he was to come back and do it, then I would come back as Batman, and that's. What the fuck are you doing, Warner Brothers? There's your shit right there. Like,
yeah, I'm sure that they would if he was interested. I think that ship has long sailed. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
But I think the Matt Reeves
I don't
Batman
think
is like, that's way down the road at this point. Now, go back 3 or 4 years, had Christopher Nolan wanted to take over from, Zack Snyder, I think they would have given him the
Such a missed
the keys to the kingdom.
Such a
but
missed opportunity.
he doesn't want to I don't think he wants to get dragged down the superhero rabbit hole any further. He also did it when it was very new and
no
kind
one
of
was
cool,
doing
and
the big name actors weren't doing it, and he was like, "I'll take a chance and do it."
That was when it was very special.
Yeah,
You know what I mean, so
now
I feel
it's
like
just-
he's doesn't want to spoil that or ruin it. It's hard to see them coming back, though. I do think Christian Bale is a great Batman.
He's the Batman.
Yeah, he is a fantastic Batman.
Yeah.
He's got to be getting a little bit on the older side, though. I mean, those
He looked
are
pretty old in that interview.
Yeah,
he had the whole gray beard going.
Yeah, but there's a couple of iterations in the graphic novels, world
Ben
where
Affleck
Batman
had gray
is-
hair in the.
No, but isn't there one where Batman is older, older?
Frank Miller's The Dark Knight,
Yeah.
and he's an old fuck, and he is attempting to kill Superman. It's The Dark Knight and The Dark Knight Returns 1 and 2.
Damn.
By Frank
All right.
Miller. Yeah.
And Christian Bale is 48.
Oh,
That's
damn.
actually way younger than I
I
thought.
thought he was at least close to 60.
That's what I would have guessed.
That's
Wow, good
Damn.
for him, dude.
Go ahead, brother.
He's done so much,
Yeah.
and he's still got a lot left in the
Oh,
tank, is what it
yeah.
looks like. So good for him.
Yeah, man.
Hell yeah.
Speaking of people who don't have much left in the tank, Brad Pitt.
Oh, excellent segue. Yeah, apparently he is retiring. That's the
I don't
word
think
on the
so.
street. Yeah, I think he's just going to stop doing things that he doesn't want to do.
He's gonna hit us with the that, and he's gonna hit us with the Tom Brady. Like, I'm retiring, and then he's gonna be home with these kids and be like, "Fuck that! Who's got a script? I'm out of here."
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. I don't know. I could see him like disappearing for a while and then coming back for like one or two special things later on in his life.
I'm a big Brad Pitt fan. I watch anything he's in. I just don't think his projects. He's never really flooded us with projects, you know. Like he's
No.
just. It's always been.
No.
a
He kind
nice
of locks
period.
into
Yeah.
directors, I feel like, and then he
Yeah.
kind of goes on these, like, I don't know, like these weird long tenures with them in some way. Like he got really in. I feel like he was really big with. Gosh, what's his name?
Guy Ritchie, because he did.
No, Guy Ritchie is a good example. Yes. I was gonna say David Fincher.
Yes.
And then didn't he recently do some stuff with? There's somebody else I want to say, but no, it doesn't really matter. He kind of gets, I feel like, locked into concepts or directors or styles, and I feel like he kind of hangs out in that place for a little bit of time. And that's kind of what he does.
the last thing
he's
did
not doing
was-
rom-coms. He's not doing anything that's like really outside of the pocket.
Nah.
Like Ryan Gosling, I feel like is somebody who will do weird things once
He's
in
Ken.
a while.
Yeah,
La
he's
La
gonna-
Land
yeah.
or Barbie or Driver. Or like
yeah.
he'll do like kind of does everything still. He's still all over the place.
Are you excited for Bullet Train?
I've not seen the trailer for it. I've read about
Please
it.
watch the trailer.
I've read about it.
Watch the trailer.
But that Smile trailer you sent me, dude.
Oh, yeah, I'm on. Yo, I know
That was brutal.
We both have an affinity for horror, and
Yeah.
I don't get a chance to watch a lot of it. So
Me neither. Me
And-
neither, which is like very frustrating.
it's so frustrating.
Because there's a lot of horror. This is kind of
Yeah.
like the golden era of horror movies, to be honest.
Yeah, and I've sacrificed my horror time to enjoy movies at night with my wife, and my wife is like, "No, we're not doing horror." So
Yeah.
I have to like sneak and watch it when it's not scary. Like you want to watch that shit at midnight, pitch black, and like be scared and like piss yourself and shit. Like like
Yeah, but I don't want to
Can't
do
do
that
that.
alone.
I do.
I don't.
Especially when there's somebody in the house.
Exactly.
Yeah, you got people walking around.
Yeah, I'm living in my own horror movie, man.
Yeah. You got a stranger in your house.
Got Emily half asleep and she's walking around in the basement talking about seeing people. It's terrifying. Horrible situation to find yourself in.
Yeah.
But yeah, so a bunch of trailers recently.
Yeah,
The
Smile.
Smile one, but I gotta watch the
That
other
could
one
be a
for Bullet
Joker
Train.
movie. That shit right there.
Very creepy.
Yeah.
Very, very creepy.
I love it.
Go check that out. That was actually, and it's very rare that a trailer is like meaningfully scary, and that did a very good job of it. Where I felt like
I don't
very
like people
icky
smiling at me. So
throughout.
yeah.
Very, very well done.
How do you feel about people just like overly smiling at you?
I've never really thought about it, if I'm being honest.
Like you're like grocery shopping
Mm-hmm.
and you like somebody, you like see them and you're like, hey. And like you turn away to keep walking and you look back and they're like still smiling at you. And
Yeah,
shit.
I don't
Like,
really.
"Oh, it's okay,
I feel like I
weirdo."
don't really make eye contact with a lot of people in the grocery. It's not very common. I either generally, if I'm by myself, I've got AirPods in,
Yeah.
and I'm very focused on what I'm doing. So I'm not trying to connect with the fellow shopper. And then if I'm with Emily like rage shops because she hates grocery shopping. So
love
she'll
it.
get in there and she just kind of sees red, and she's just
Or
like,
she sees green and
she's just like,
fucking gone.
next, what are we doing next? What are we doing next? Like, let's go. What are we doing next? What do we need? What do we need? What do we need? To the point where like I'm grabbing things off the shelf that we need, and she'll be like, we don't need that. And I'm like, we eat this all the time. You just don't want to be here.
That's
the
when you
truth.
get your fucking Pop-Tarts.
No. The only time.
I was gonna say macaroni and cheese.
That's when you
but
get your 5 shots of your mac and cheese.
No,
Just
dude.
throw it in there.
The only time I get there's too much.
He can't justify it.
There's too much
You gotta fucking do
judgment
it. At the checkout.
At the
when she sees
checkout,
it?
even if I could sneak it in, which like, I'm not gonna sneak it in, dude.
That's when
It's
you
probably a fly.
That's when you need the AirPods. You get to the checkout, you know she's gonna flip
She can-
AirPods
No,
in.
dude, she's a bloodhound,
Noise
dude. She can
cancellation at the
sniff
checkout.
out. She can sniff out trash. I can hide it in the cart, and she just like
Brother,
the
that's what
tractor
wi-
beam
that's what wives
right in
do.
on it. Anyway, the only chance I have for that type of thing is if I'm grocery shopping alone, which I do a lot, and I enjoy it because I'm a leisurely grocery shopper.
Me too, man. I just kind of like.
I like to just relax. It doesn't bother me.
just kinda walking
I don't
through,
feel like
chilling.
I'm.
Yeah, it's great for me.
Yeah, it's like Normandy for her. She like hits Wegmans and she's just moving through the aisles like bobbing and weaving. Like, how do we get out of here as quickly as possible? And it's like, listen, relax. It's a grocery store. Just take it in and just eat. It's fine. It's fine. Instead of getting home at 7:30, we'll get home at like 7:45 or 7:50. Just calm down. It's gonna be okay. Like, it's gonna be fine.
Do you do checkouts? Like, do you do like the checkout lane stuff? Like, are you like one
Like
of
a
those
self checkout or
No. Like candy and like magazines. Do you ever like grab any of that stuff?
Generally, no.
That
I don't think so.
Is my grandmother's favorite part.
Really into the magazines with Princess Diana being an alien baby. It's really his.
I feel like a lot of those have been taken out. Like if I go to
Yeah,
Wegmans,
you
you
don't
don't
see
see
them.
a
You don't
lot
see
of
them,
that
you don't see
content
them.
anymore. Which, yes, that's always enjoyable.
You get you a
But-
Red Bull and some M&Ms or something for the ride home and shit.
Yeah, Wegmans has, which is where we do a lot of grocery shopping. That and Whole Foods. Whole Foods does not do at least the Whole Foods near me does not do like the aisle snacks.
Did you go to
It's
the
not
new one
really
over
how it
here?
works. In Towson?
Yeah.
I've not been. No, I go to the one down in Mount Washington.
First time going to a Whole Foods 2 days ago, the one in Towson.
Good for you.
Yeah, I've heard good things.
You like
I've
it?
heard it's great.
It was a grocery store.
What I like
Yeah.
about Whole Foods is the hot bar.
That's what they
Yes.
used to call me, actually.
Oh,
Different reason. You don't want to. We'll talk about it later.
Hey, yo.
God bless. The hot bar just came back. though.
Am I right?
Now that COVID is out of here, and I think the hot bars are back now.
They did have it, in Towson. Yes,
Speaking of, not to get off the
Wegmans
grocery
got
store thing,
a good hot bar too. Yeah.
they
they've got a
do.
wing bar.
They have a
bar,
wing bar.
yeah.
Yes,
Yep.
not that I eat them,
Wegmans
but
got
they
every
have it.
fucking thing.
Is that what you were gonna say?
That's my point about Wegmans, though. It's a good time.
It's
great. It's a good
Relax.
time.
Easily an hour.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Easily an
Thank
hour in
You can
Wegmans,
snack. Their candy aisle. They got the organic candy.
Yes.
And then you can like if you want to get hardcore, you can get the name brand candy.
Yes. So back to the aisle candy and the aisle snacks and magazines. Generally, if I'm shopping for a candy product and I'm at Wegmans, for example, I'll go to like the candy aisle and I'll select from there. I generally don't make those types of brash decisions while I'm checking out because I'm focused on loading the belt in the appropriate way so that it can be bagged accordingly. Not really what's going on around me. I'm not that dialed in. And then at Whole Foods, they don't have regular candy. It's all made by like,
It's made by
it's made by like, I don't know, like
some lady in her
Keebler
garage.
elves and
Yeah.
like nuns and
Jeff's
yeah.
great grandmother.
Yeah. It's like very expensive candy. It all tastes very
$6
strange
candy
and
bar.
it's just packaged really well. That's the thing at Whole Foods. It's not great candy. None of it is. It's just, I don't know.
It's like the next level up from Walk and Fuss.
It's like nobody asks for
No,
this.
I don't want that
Nobody
shit. I
asks
don't
for
want my candy bar in a white wrapper with a gold wrapper under it with tissue paper wrapped in
It's
tissue
like
paper.
hand wrapped.
Yeah. Then it has a
Hand-wrapped.
bow on it and shit. Like I don't need all that.
Yeah.
Just let me rip this bitch open.
There's like the packaging has to be 90% of the cost with every Wegmans candy product.
That type of
Not
candy
Wegmans, sorry, Whole Foods.
Whole Foods.
Whole Foods candy product.
Those candy products are
anything at Wegmans.
gifts that old women give each other. Like they get them a card and a candy bar
Yeah.
from Whole Foods because them shits are like $7.
Yeah.
Here you go, Irene.
Little slight tangent off of Whole Foods because I was just there. Has anybody else noticed that there is like the mask wearing, the uptick in mask wearing has really accelerated recently?
Yeah,
Are you wearing masks out?
yeah.
You are.
Target.
You wear them out. So you go to
Wegmans.
Target or Whole Foods or Wegmans, you're wearing a mask.
People look at me crazy.
Okay. I mean, I don't look at anyone crazy, but I was at Whole Foods and I was probably one or two of the only people that didn't have a mask on. And I was like, wait a minute, this wasn't what was happening.
It was reversed like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you masking on a consistent basis?
I have noticed the uptick in grocery stores. I don't know if
Yes.
I've noticed it everywhere, but no, elsewhere. But no, I'm not.
Okay, you're not. Isaiah?
Yeah.
So you're wearing it at an increased rate, or you just are wearing it in the same way?
Same way.
The same way. Okay. And what?
Private settings?
Yes. But if you go to a Target or a grocery store, you're
Yeah.
masked up.
Always have, never stopped.
Okay. So not both of you always have, never stopped. So it's not like an uptick. You just
No,
never stopped.
I just noticed.
Okay.
But like you said, private settings.
But are we all recognizing that more and more people are wearing them now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right. Great.
Yes.
Just wondering if we were all experiencing the same thing.
Because a couple counties went into, what is it? The mid-level of cautionary, like wear your mask indoor for like a couple weeks.
Where are you getting this information?
My job.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
I can't say where I work because it's top secret.
It's okay. But like they send out like a memo or like
Yeah,
an
they're like
announcement.
Howard County's in like cautionary
I'm not getting any of this information.
period right now, which means everyone should be masked up indoors. And I'm like, okay, well.
Yeah. Interesting.
And then they're like, when it stops, they're like, all right, you don't have to wear your mask indoors anymore and shit. So
Okay. Do you think that you will like long term wear the mask indoors? Because you guys have both not stopped really wearing it in a public scenario,
I
public shopping situation.
I think once my kids can get vaccinated,
Okay.
I'll probably be like,
You'll
yeah.
ease up, or you think? Because I feel
I still
like
got little kids.
I feel like in a lot of situations it's kind of probably here forever.
Shit's not going to fucking win.
Yeah, not COVID, the masks meaning.
Yeah, the mask's not going anywhere.
Yeah. I
What
people
happened
are
to
gonna
that
do
movie
What movie?
about the? Do you remember this movie that was supposed to come out like the height of the pandemic about like COVID-23 or some shit like that?
No.
It was crazy. It was hardcore. It was like Contagion times 10.
Oh.
It was like you would cough in your home and then like
Was
they-
it called COVID-23?
nah, I can't remember what it's called.
Okay.
But
Well, we can do a little bit of research maybe
Yeah.
and figure this out. Okay.
I thought that, not to take another side note here, I thought that the latest Bond film, stick with me here.
I'll let you go.
We're with you.
You've seen it. Have you seen it?
Yes.
Okay, great. I thought that was an odd movie, and obviously they didn't have any idea of what was going to happen.
Of course.
But the whole idea about building a virus
yeah.
that targets and whatever it is
Yes.
was I had no idea before I'd watched it that's the premise, that was the whole point
Sure.
of the
Yeah.
film. I thought it was just interesting that movie would have been released, 6 months into this huge pandemic.
How long did it take you to watch it? Because it's really long.
I did it in one sitting.
Yeah,
That's right, you ain't got
I did it
kids.
in one sitting
Yeah.
as well. I waited for it to come out on home video.
And then he went down,
I did
got his
too.
VHS.
Yep.
No, my wife made me fucking buy it.
Be kind and rewind.
Not that I'm mad at my wife, but I'm like, no, she made me buy
Yeah,
it.
we watched it here at the house. I didn't
Yeah.
see it in theaters.
Because that was one of the first pandemic movies too.
It got pushed and delayed many,
Yeah.
many times. It was supposed to come out I feel like right at the beginning of it all. And they just kind of were like, oh, we're gonna delay it 3 months, and we're gonna delay it 6 months.
Yeah, I think it
and
was
we're gonna delay
May
it a
or
year.
June. I think it was June.
Yeah.
They pushed it November, pushed
Yep.
it again to May, pushed
Yep.
it again to November. Yeah.
Didn't give the people what they wanted.
Yep.
It was an okay Bond. It wasn't the best. Thoughts on the whiskey, though? We've not really touched on this. So do you have some
All right.
initial takes?
I've been sitting with it.
Yeah.
I've done one maybe shot of it that I
Yeah.
sipped down. I'm on my second.
It's a good sign.
And that initial sip, that sweetness that hits first, where last week when we had the lip service, the sweetness was kind of stagnant. Like it was the last thing you taste.
Yes.
With this, the sweetness is first, and then it cuts at the end, and then you get the bite from the whiskey.
Yeah.
So no, I enjoy this. I actually like this.
Very good.
It kind of reminds me of Jameson, but not as hard. Jameson's
Yes.
hard.
Much smoother.
Yeah, much smoother.
Yeah.
So yeah,
But it's nice.
Good job.
I like
Dead
it.
Rabbits. Yeah.
I'm
They
gonna
didn't
be
get you. Yeah.
I'll be on my second glass here very soon. This is a very solid Irish whiskey.
The Dead Rabbits.
Yes.
From New York.
Thumbs up around the room.
Mm-hmm.
Any downs? Nope. We're
Nope,
all enjoying
all
it.
up. All right.
Okay. boom, True Detective season 4
with the ladies.
that got,
my Mercedes. Yeah.
I guess, is officially greenlit now. HBO has
Yeah,
said,
we talked
"Let's
about
go."
this not too long ago, and then now it's
Yeah.
actually happening. We are True Detective fans, I guess. I feel like we set ourselves
It's a
up.
love-hate
Yeah,
relationship.
yeah. I feel like we.
You're giving me eyes. You got something?
I think True Detective was one of our first episodes.
It was.
It was
few
one of the
years ago.
early
It
ones.
was.
Yeah, we did a True Detective
Yeah.
season
number 2,
3
maybe. Yeah.
review.
We did the one with
Review.
Mahershala Ali.
The last season.
Yes.
Actually, that's how
Damn,
long
that
it's
was like
been.
3 years ago.
Yeah.
We've been doing this a long time.
Well, we took a big hiatus, so
Well,
yeah. But yeah, a long time, sure.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, season 4 apparently is off the ground and running, is what they're saying. I find it very interesting that they continue to give that show legs, but somebody at HBO must really, really enjoy. True Detective season 1 was a
classic.
it's a classic. It really is.
Can't go
Phenomenal
anywhere.
show.
Yeah, awesome. All the way
Start
through.
to finish. Really, really, really great. Season 2, not so much. Season 3,
I still
not so
can't
much.
tell you what happened.
And here we are staring down the barrel of season 4. I just cannot. There's so many shows that are good that just get nixed right
and
away.
everywhere, yeah.
So for True Detective to just not die, pretty impressive.
Well, I think they have a knack for if the story's bad, we have still hired amazing talent that people want to see. Right? Like Mahershala
Yes,
Ali had
yes.
just won best actor
Yes, he
in
did.
for the Academy Awards, and this is his first show.
Yeah.
We love him. So we're gonna stick
Yeah,
with it. And
it
see
pulls in big
right?
names.
We had Woody Harrelson and Matthew McConaughey. Love both of those guys first season.
Yes,
so
right.
you're like, okay, all right. And then the big name was Colin Farrell,
Rachel McAdams.
Yeah, right? So like I still can't tell you what happened, but I'm so magnetized by the talent that I
Sure.
continued to watch it, and I still have I can't fucking. All I remember is a car accident. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
A car accident and maybe 2 gunshots. I can't even tell you a character's name, but I watched the whole thing
Yeah. Yep.
forcefully because
Yep.
you're magnetized by these people. So, the talent this time is, of course, people that is 2 women that people are magnetized by, and we'll just kind of. I think this time they're kind of riding on the heels of the success of the others, and like people watch the other 3. Fuck it, let's see what
Yeah.
happens. Yeah.
All right. So on the note of HBO, my watch list, I can run through that, but
Shit. Did I update my watch list?
Westworld is on there.
Do it.
This guy.
Oh, you didn't.
Okay. There it is.
It's blank.
It's blank.
So Westworld season 4 premiered this weekend. I'm assuming you have not seen it because
No.
you stopped watching during like season 2 or something you said recently, which was offensive, but we'll allow it.
Couldn't, man.
Yes. So there's a 7-year time jump between season 3 and season 4. So there's a lot of pieces that we're putting back together in episode 1. So it's a slow episode in the sense that we are really reestablishing what like this season will look like. It's not like we're not picking up right where we left off, which I always enjoy seasons like that because I don't want
a cliffhanger. I don't want to jump right back into it. Like,
no, I do. So
You
you're
do?
saying the opposite.
Nah, I like
I
to be over, and I like some time to have passed.
I don't need a
to see where the
cliffhanger.
characters how they have dealt with what happened, rather than us just going right back into it.
Yeah, see, I don't need a cliffhanger, but I like when there's continuity in the sense that like we don't have to reestablish everybody. I don't need to know where like everybody is at, like where you're living now, who your kid is now, who your new wife is. That is always like now we're just it's like with the Disney Plus shows where we spend 3 or 4 episodes setting up Miss Marvel
I'm angry
and
at you
then
because
2 episodes of
this is what
dopeness.
they did for Stranger Things, and you were
What are you
like,
talking about?
They did that.
Oh, no, not at all. There
They
were
did that. They just did that for Stranger Things.
people were getting ripped in half in episode 1, dude.
But they did that whole setup where they just we had to like build up. We had to see Elle get bullied in school and shit.
Disagree. I disagree. I think Stranger Things does a much better job of
At it,
interweaving
yeah.
story and suspense. Because
Okay.
again, by the end of episode 1, we have seen people get wrecked. We have been
fuck yeah.
scared. We have seen Vecna in some capacity. We are in, like, yes, there is story setup happening, but it's not a slow, like,
I felt like it was slow.
okay, fair
The first
enough.
two.
You can
Just
feel
the
like it's
first
that's
two.
fine. That's fine.
But-
watch episode 1 of Westworld season 4. You'll know what I'm talking about. We're
Okay.
being reintroduced to all these characters and like just seeing where they're at in their lives, and really nothing dramatic happens or exciting happens. And I have
Do
no
I
idea.
have to watch season 3? Can I watch like a recap?
Yes. Westworld is all building off of
Itself.
itself. It's very intertwined. I would really recommend. Also,
And I'm bitching right now.
Season 2 and season 3 are excellent.
They
so
are.
get
And I'm
caught
really
up,
just
dude.
bitching because HBO shows are only like 6 or 7, 8 episodes at the most.
Yeah, get caught up.
So
That's
I
all I
see
gotta
it.
say.
I love robots.
We did Doctor Strange. We talked about that already. Family Chantel. I'm keeping up with that. And the 90 Day Fiance. Those are fantastic. That's my trash TV. Although 90 Day Fiance is like, so this season.
Mm-hmm.
There's nobody on there that's really, knocking my socks off. Miss Marvel continues to be mediocre.
Very.
Buried. I've continued to watch that. It's that true crime thing. It's only 4 episodes long, but it's been taking me some time to get through it, if I'm being honest. But you've got Miss Marvel on yours and Umbrella Academy, which
Started
that season
that.
just dropped,
Yeah.
right? It's
I'm
a new
like-
season that just dropped. Now you
Season
just started
3.
it. You just started season 3, or you started at the beginning and you're getting
almost
caught
done season 3.
up. Okay.
And I don't know why I
Great.
didn't say this last week, but yeah.
Okay. The other thing I've been watching. Sorry, not to go back to my list, but Emily has been very into. She goes on these Survivor kicks. You ever watch Survivor?
Yeah.
Okay.
My daughter watches it.
Oh, your daughter watches it. Okay, great.
She loves that shit. My big daughter, not my little daughter.
So Emily goes on these Survivor kicks once in a while, where she'll just like watch a season in like a day. It's like a
What? That
yeah.
shit is like 30 episodes.
I know. It's like it's
Hefty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't. It's like this 24-hour period where I
It's just
get
on.
way too familiar with this group of people. Yeah, because she'll be like, I'm home today, like I'm not working today, it's my day off or whatever, and she's gonna like do things around the house, or so she'll
it's
turn
fun.
this on,
Yeah.
and it's
You know what I call it? It's called the wife loop.
yeah. Well,
You get stuck in it.
and so now I spend my day
Yeah.
kind of like trying to pay attention to what's going on. I'm like, wait, what happened to Zeke? Like, where'd he go?
Yeah.
Like, I'm asking, like,
In
what
the
hap-
morning, you're like, why are you watching this
Yeah.
shit? By lunch, you're like, so did he win the challenge or not? Like, what the
I'm
fuck
at
is
the
going
point.
on?
I'm at the
The
point
potato
though.
tribe won the challenge. They've got hamburgers, clearly.
They're
I'm
eating
at the
steak
point though
tonight.
where like I can recognize it. Like
Yeah.
even when she just puts on the first episode, I'm like, I know exactly what today is gonna look like, start to finish.
Do you give her the gratification of you knowing what's going on? Or do you just kind of like,
Oh no, she knows because I'll pop in, like I'm like eating lunch, and I'll be like, all right, what's this challenge? Like where are we at? Like who's
You need to
who's
check
here?
in?
Who's gone?
your checkpoint?
Now, yeah, I'm always there's a small sadness in the fact that I'm just popping in
That
and
you're
out here
just
and
as
there.
bad.
Because like I don't know who these people are like anymore. I'm like, wait, who got cut? Why'd they get cut? What's with these different colored bandanas?
And they hate that. They hate the fucking questions.
yeah.
Oh, she.
Well, there's too much to
just watch it.
there's too
Like,
much to
no.
explain because there's
Yeah.
been 6 hours between this and the last
The last
time
time I
I
was in a
checked.
room.
So like the tribes
Yeah.
have changed a dozen times.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we're in a whole different it's like 5 weeks later on the show. So anyway, there's been some Survivor kicking around the house this week, and so
I should maybe try to do that, go back and watch them. I generally, same thing with Big Brother, I'll watch the first few episodes of the season when the new season starts, really excited to get into it.
yeah.
And then I just kind of lose it. Episode 6, 7,
yeah,
third week, something like that. I'm like, I don't know if I need to do this.
They're so long.
Maybe if I just watch it last season, start now,
Yeah,
give
when-
it an hour a day.
It is. I feel like it's a way more enjoyable show, and it's been a long time since I've watched Survivor Live. But I feel like it's a way more enjoyable show in a streaming environment where you can just watch the episodes back to back. Because who wants to spend like 6 months tracking with these people? It's too much work.
Can't do
It's
it.
too much time.
Can't do it.
And so I get it when you're like watching it back to back and you're watching everyone play the games and the puzzles. It's way more fun when you're just kind of cooking through it.
And you know, that's kind of an older, like a 90s, early 2000s kind of TV idea that the family, stick with me. Second time that I've had to say stick with me here, where you get the family together on a Thursday night to watch, or, you know, Friday TGI, you know what I mean?
TGIF, yes.
That kind of idea where it takes you 4 months to get through the show is very similar to that
Those
kind of.
23, 24 episode seasons.
Let's
where
check in with Survivor, guys. It's 9 o'clock.
It starts in the
Get
summer.
the popcorn.
We get a Christmas episode.
Yep.
And it
Oh my
ends
God.
like right after New Year's and shit. And they get the spring off. Yeah.
Oh, goodness gracious. Yeah. So that's the watch list rundown.
Yeah. I've been peeking my head in. What's my wife watching? She watches a lot of Housewives. I peek my head in on that.
Yeah.
All of them.
Not
them.
a
Wherever
lot of-
they from.
A lot of Housewives.
Atlanta, New York. I think there's Dubai,
Potomac.
Too much.
Potomac.
Too
Does that still
much.
go?
Yeah, there's a bunch of housewives. So there's always a housewife on in my house. I think they come on Sunday nights. We did a little trash TV. We did a little bit of MTV trash TV. What was she watching on there? She pulled me into. There's Black Ink, which is like the tattoo one, and that
Yep.
shit's they was turning up on there. And then there was another one, Basketball Wives, about the wives of the basketball players,
Yes.
and they turn up too. So
Yep.
oh, and I'm familiar with. There's another show. I love when my wife does trash TV because I'm like in the kitchen. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? It's another one with the comedian from Baltimore. Her name is Jess Hilarious, and she's on there with. It's like a couples retreat with like some like famous rappers and shit, and they're all like fighting. Like what's his name? DeVoe from Belle Biv DeVoe and his wife are on there. Trash TV, super trash.
That's great.
Yeah.
No, I love it. I mean,
Yeah.
90 Day, I watch trash TV. It's great.
Yeah. What's your do you get in a mood for trash TV? Like I got my trash TV sweatshirt on.
I don't know if I have like a sweatshirt that I put on. No, I feel like generally when I'm like, if we like make dinner or something and we're gonna watch something, like it'll be trash TV.
Because it's easy to watch.
It's
while
easy
you
to
eat it.
wash.
Yeah.
Okay, so I said wash. So this is something that my wife does not understand.
That's,
and
your, that's your Baltimore peeking out.
Yeah, exactly. I've tried to explain
Baltimore
this.
stew.
Tried to explain this to my wife is for as long as I've known her. But I don't like eating food while I'm watching TV or movie that requires
Attention. Yeah.
Yes. She doesn't get it. She hates it to the point where I will be dishonest about shows that we want to watch, having there be new episodes. I'll be like, oh no,
I'm not watching the new
we're
Stranger
gonna
Things
watch.
while I'm eating.
Yeah, we're gonna
No, I'm
watch
doing it.
this right now, and then afterwards I'll be like, oh yeah, no, this is out. Like we are gonna watch Westworld now, but we weren't gonna watch it before because I'm not doing that. Like I'll watch 90 Day Fiance or something like
Yeah.
that, Survivor, whatever. Put whatever else you want on, but I don't. If I'm eating, I don't want to because I'm focused.
On your food, right?
I only want to focus on one or the other.
The food. My
She's-
food, my drink, and
yeah.
whoever's at the table. Like
Yeah.
I don't need like the other like yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah, okay,
totally.
great, perfect.
That's a man thing.
I saw a
think it's
lot of
man
like
thing.
head nodding in here,
There's
so I feel like the
we're
agreement is
mansplaining right
across-
now,
across
brother.
Okay. All right, very good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
We're gonna get in trouble.
All right. It's kind of a short episode this week, but that's okay.
Yeah, it's
'cause
not really much out.
We didn't record that long ago.
We got a bad guy? Izzy? Give us a bad guy this week. Top of your head, let's go.
Top of your head is right. This is already taking too long.
Oh man. Josh, you got one?
Anybody?
No.
Okay.
No, I
All
don't.
right. Very good.
All right, I'm gonna go with one. And we can end it as soon as I say it. The Supreme Court.
Oh,
We'll
damn.
see you guys next week.
Oh, God. Is that how you're ending it? Are you going to say
Nah,
something
we
on
can
this?
keep going. No, I'm
you
not
can
gonna
say something on it. Why don't
No,
you say
they're just
something on it?
they're just bad.
Offer some thoughts.
I think you shouldn't tell people what to do with their bodies.
I agree. Yes.
Yeah, that's it.
I'm in a weird
That's mean.
predicament.
It's very mean.
I'm in a weird predicament with my wife on this a little bit because, like, obviously she feels very strongly about it. I feel strongly about it too. I haven't like made a big stance on social media. I'm trying to figure out like a way, like I explained to her, like, listen, I feel the same ways that you do. I'm trying to think of like a meaningful way to approach this, or a meaningful way to like help or do something positive. And I don't know what that is. And I've really struggled. I've struggled with it a lot this week because I've spent a lot more time than I would normally spend on like this type
The
of stuff.
news
Like,
and shit?
Yeah, like I
Yeah.
just have really been thinking about like a meaningful way to either get involved or do something beyond just like it seems like voting or doing that. Like it just seems like it doesn't have the impact that maybe it once did. So I don't know. It's been a topic of conversation quite a bit. Again, I feel like shouting into the wind to a certain extent by posting something on social media. Not that like I won't, or I mean I'm sure that I will at some point. I just don't. It just feels like, I don't know. I want to feel like I did more, or I did something more impactful and more meaningful. I don't know what that
I
means.
felt
don't know
the
what that
same
is,
way.
though.
I definitely align with your feelings. I feel like as a father of girls who will be women one day,
Yeah, that's a great perspective.
you know, I don't want anyone that feeling like they have the ruling over what they can decide to do with themselves. And I think that if you educate yourself, I think that the connotations and the stigma around abortion is related to promiscuity, and it just has a lot of negative stuff around it. But if you actually research what abortion is and what it can do, and in some instances it's life-saving for
Yeah,
women.
Sure, yeah, correct.
So I just really feel for those people who in some cases will need to require this and they can't. You know, like that's just who are you to say that they can't do this? And that's the, you know, I just feel, you know, these old fucks.
Yeah,
are
it
making
feels
rules
it just feels very like Handmaid's Tale. to me. Like,
they can't
it's
even
just-
upgrade their iPhone without one of our help, but they can make laws that prevent me from fucking saving my wife. And
There's
shit,
something
you
about
know
it that
what I'm
just
saying?
feels like such a step backwards, and I don't like it. Just what do you do? Like, how do you get in?
You said the Handmaid's Tale thing, and I've been thinking about this for quite a while. Watching the Handmaid's Tale was incredibly difficult for me because as the seasons moved on, it seemed more and more real
Sure.
with what we were experiencing
It was more,
around.
yeah.
Yes.
And it's incredible how it tracks, obviously much more, emphasized, but
Yeah.
it really tracks with reality.
I stopped watching Handmaid's Tale. I got through like 2 or 3 seasons.
My wife watches it, so
But I tapped out, and I was telling Emily, because Emily was like, she was very into it. And I was like, listen, this show just keeps getting darker and more depressing, and I don't know when things are going to start to take a turn. Because you kind of want, in some way, like you want a little
victory for them.
victory,
Yeah.
redemption. You want to see things kind of start kicking in the other direction, some kind of rebellion, whatever. Like you want that light at the end of the tunnel.
I can't watch.
Just
Yeah.
wasn't coming.
It's not,
at any
not
point.
happening.
So I just felt like
Yeah.
I just kept suffering through this, and I was like, damn, this is really brutal. Which obviously, like, probably a metaphor for it in a sense, but I tapped out. I probably should get caught up on it, but it feels, the time that we are in feels reminiscent of that, because it feels
absolutely.
like blows just kind of keep coming and keep coming.
They're
And-
not getting any wins, and I think like
Yeah.
that last season, my wife was watching it, and we're all been in relationships when they're like watching shit, and it's like you'll come to the room where they're finishing up their like thing, and that's how I watched *Handmaid's Tale*. Like every time it was time for me and my wife to like get cozy and watch something, she was
Yeah.
finishing *Handmaid's Tale*.
Yeah.
So I always caught like the last 20 minutes of it. And
Yeah.
shit. And they had like a victory. And I was like, oh, damn, babe, the folks, they turned up. And then like they walked down the road and it was like, they all got shot down.
a trap,
Right? It was
yeah.
a trap. Like,
Yeah.
what the fuck? How are these people supposed to win? Like,
Yeah.
where's the happiness?
Is that show? The show's still going. though,
Yeah,
right?
they just
Yeah.
got announced for season 5.
Yep.
Yeah, it's not over
Yeah.
yet.
But, to that, I was like, I can't, that type of TV is not for me. I don't like seeing people continuously punished. It's just, it's too, like, that shit's like too real for me. Like, I'm just like, yo, like,
Yet here we are having this conversation
Yeah.
about real scenarios.
and it's becoming a real thing in our world. So yeah, man, like, You know, like get these old fucks out of here. I'll stand on any hill and say that.
Have you seen the petition that everybody's been signing to get what's his name?
Clarence Thomas?
Yes.
He's got to fucking go.
Which, like, I don't. Can that work? I don't
know.
understand. Is that
No.
just for? That's just like a thing
It's
for
just
show.
to get attention,
Yeah.
draw attention.
Because
to
you
the
can't
issue.
just.
So the requirement for that would be something that just won't work.
Yeah.
So the requirement would be you have to make an amendment to the Constitution to be able to put a limit on
How long they can serve.
Yeah.
But I did hear you can impeach Supreme Court judges, though.
You can be impeached.
But what's the impeachment process?
Probably, I would say it's the trial, the same as, but then they would have to prove that he did something
Yeah, but
wrong.
how do you initiate? Yeah, I guess that's true because you probably.
I go arrest
Things
him.
like that. Putting pressure on your local representative and your national federal
To say that they did something wrong, that they violated human rights, civil rights, or
Okay.
whatever.
But the impeachment wouldn't necessarily.
That wouldn't mean shit. Trump got
based
impeached.
on his-
Clinton got impeached.
But
They still
see, here's
served.
the thing. With presidential impeachments, it's not necessarily about if they did something morally wrong. They
It
would've
just
had
means that
to
they can be
impeach
taken to
the
trial, right?
Yeah.
So with impeaching a Supreme Court justice, it's more like, okay, are they doing something wrong?
Or are they
Is there- is
competent
their
enough they can?
fitness
Yeah.
To do the job. And if they
Well, I think that's better then.
Well, yes, but
They're not fit to do their fucking job. You get them the fuck out of here.
so how
I don't care if they did anything,
how do
if they did
argue-
anything right or wrong. If you're not fit to do the job,
Right.
just get the fuck out.
But how do they say if Clarence Thomas is fit or not to do his job?
Have you seen his hair? He's not fit. He's got a terrible haircut.
I mean, the big thing to remember, though, is that impeachment for federal judges still follows the same process it does for presidents, which is a simple majority in the House, but a
And they're not gonna
two-thirds
do
majority in
that.
the Senate.
Yeah,
and
they're not.
that's what's not going to happen.
That's not going to happen. So I just got to write him hate mail.
Damn.
That's my thing. Can I write him hate email? Because I don't want to like waste paper.
Why not? It's very environmentally conscious. You go. You go.
I don't want to waste paper. But yeah, man, like get those guys out of there. I don't know. If you're a lawyer, call in or write us email or comment and tell us like what we can do to contribute or like help.
Yeah, that's
or
a good
shit.
call out. What's
You know
like
what I
a
mean?
meaningful way to get involved in
Yeah.
impact? Like, what's something that can be done that isn't just shouting into the wind?
I don't know, should I actually phone? I do have someone that we could call that will be able to give us probably give us some solid answers.
I don't want to cold call anybody but JW.
Okay.
Except JW all the time.
Let's-
We could call Dubs and get his opinion
Wait,
on this.
call JW and ask him what we should do to impeach the Supreme Court
I guarantee you right now,
He
he's
is
too busy working on Apple TVs
that don't work.
that don't work to answer the call.
Somebody in Baltimore held all the buttons down on the remote, which triggered some sort of error report. It's like, what's happening?
For context, like we got here today, and I'm in no rush, so I'm just gonna keep talking. I don't care.
No, it's all good.
Unless you gotta want to.
I like the idea of speaking with somebody that's maybe more
You wanna-
informed, but maybe we should
schedule it.
schedule it. I don't want to I want to give somebody the time. It's a serious topic and I don't want it
No,
to be,
yeah, for
I
sure.
don't want it to come
Yep.
off like nonchalant. So I like this idea. Let's follow up on this and maybe make it happen. But I don't want it to be like a off the cuff thing because it's again important. So I say we wrap this week for
Okay.
now and we'll circle back. Everybody felt good about
The dead
the
rabbits.
dead rabbit. We liked
Yeah.
that.
I kind of
Thumbs
want to get a
up.
rabbit tattoo now,
All right.
right now.
On a pike.